crime related to exploitation?
Yes.
Do you feel comfortable telling me what happened?
Yeah.
I was waiting in an empty parking lot with my boyfriend. I was waiting for my next date.
Did you feed Sam before you left home like I told you?
What do you mean did I feed her? She's my daughter. Of course I fed her.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Right from the beginning, there was such a beautiful connection between our grandfather and granddaughter. You just felt the love. It was very palpable. And I think the switch from this carefree, this gorgeous sunny seascape, snapping to the harshness of the jail cell made it even more palpable. Really excellent dealing with the topic of the injustice at the heart of the system. And for women in these positions, just not getting traverse an institution in an equitable way without usually volunteers or people who are willing to forge out of their own resources and time to help people get an equitable finish to a case. And it was difficult, very difficult content, but I thought they told the story beautifully and clearly. And yeah, I very much appreciate this piece. And it's not a topic I see a lot of films or art on. So I loved seeing that. I very much appreciated this one.
I think this is a story that needed to be told about a subject that we don't hear enough about, with a unique character that I'm interested in and care about. And I think it told it well, and it hit all the emotional beats, and it was very effective.
A really interesting and beautiful short. I think it has a lot of heart. It's great to have like a female protagonist as well. I feel like the performances all around were just very strong.
I thought this one was just filled with wonderful characters. Just really colorful film. It all felt really polished. Felt like a good production value here. There were some great performances. Definitely had that cinematic quality all around here in the editing and just the flow of it all. Just, yeah, really sharp, really smart. Definitely well done. And
it kind of had like an uplifting message to it as well. We're introduced to a doting grandfather and granddaughter at the beach. There's a kaleidoscopic effect of the starfish, so the landscape breaks into multiple different colors and pieces, which was cool. I thought that the arrest was played out very well. The corrections officer and the police officers were really convincing within their roles. Everybody thinks that the boyfriend is evil, of course, so he played that off very well. I definitely felt like his contempt and also his toxicity towards Iris. And the character of Iris was played really well as well. Yeah, she was definitely as the fixture of the story. Like her facial expressions were everything.
Like wonderful flashes between all the women and their stories. When we are kind of like in the like office room and we're like going between like all these different women, I think that worked well to let us know that even though we're focusing in on one story, it's something that affects so many more people than just the main character. It was a very intense scene watching them get pulled over. I know I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I was very invested and I wanted to know what was going to happen next. It was also great to hear that justice was actually being served for human trafficking survivors. And I just felt like her story was absolutely heartbreaking, and it's even more heartbreaking to know how real this is and how this is affecting so many women across the world.
I thought it was a really great way of kind of navigating through the story, having it told through a somebody telling their own story and then kind of flashing in and out and then weaving that together with what was currently happening, and as she was writing the letters to kind of move along the time frame as well. I thought that was really well done. I loved opening it with the grandfather and the daughter. I thought that was great. It kind of just gives context at the end, and also as you're going of why she'd be willing to take the fall and why she's willing to take this risk and, you know, fight for a better life and share her story, even though it might be hard for her to talk about and hard to bring up again. So I thought all of that was really well portrayed. I really liked the kind of cuts that they did of her writing the letters in jail and really trying and like showing that it wasn't just a story that she was telling, or it wasn't just part of it. It was also, they were throwing in and adding the work that she was currently doing, because that way at the end with the judge, it makes more sense and you got to see part of that process. So it is a little bit easier to believe and buy into.
So it does a really nice job in the beginning to set something up. You're not really sure what's going on. A little girl's waiting for her mother to come home, and it has a bit of foreboding to it. It doesn't sound like things are going to go well. We learn about her mother in prison. A charitable organization helps her, a group that helps women that are victims of sex trafficking. So we learned her story. So a lot of good conflict is set up, and we see, we learn a lot about the workings of justice system. Yeah, it was nice the way conflict was set up. Our expectations, we were meant to expect one thing, but then led down a better path, So yeah, good conflict, good setup and resolution, a lot of good surprises along the way. And we learned a lot about, how these charitable organizations work with women who are victims of sex trafficking. So nice job with the film, Starfish.